We know that carrying your groceries out to your car seems a bit old school. That saying hello and asking about your day feels like a thing of the past. Being best at fresh, it's not just a fad. Serving high-quality meat at affordable prices? Talk about a throwback. But at Fareway, that's kind of our thing. Because some things never go out of style. Friendly at Fareway. It's more than just a name.
Greetings from your hometown tour. Playing at KC Center October 5th. Get tickets now at HighVTix.com.
Chris Williams, Chris Hassel. Two Chris's, one network. This is Two Guys. Presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery. From the Channel Seed Studios, this is Two Guys. Exclusively on Iowa Everywhere.
What's up? Welcome to the program. It is the 15th of September, 2025. Chris Hassel joins me from Florida. My name is Chris Williams. Matt Van Winkle is the producer of Chris and Chris here on Iowa Everywhere. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Fareway Meat and Grocery, and we come to you live today from the Channel Seed Studios. Glad to see you have your shirt on, Chris.
For those of you that missed it, I did have to take my shirt off on Instant Iowa. And it wasn't because I was flexing on UMASS. It was because
Marcus Camby.
We rushed up at halftime. I wasn't sure that we were going to actually plug it in at halftime and not post game. So I rushed it. I had 4 layers on because it's a lot colder in my living room than it is back in the back of the house here. And so I was pouring down sweat from my face, so I had to change my outfit.
You're looking good. The abs are coming in. Lean?
Not really. Those are just my ribs.
A lot to talk about today. The Cyclones are 4-0 going into their bye week. Iowa's the air raid Hawkeyes. The big win over UMass. We'll get into that. Iowa with a Friday night game this week.
Short week.
It gets real for the Hawkeyes at Rutgers. Never thought I'd put those words together, but be a tough game coming up on Friday.
Basically a toss-up game. I think I saw Iowa was favored by 1.5 points.
1.5. Yep. Let's start with Iowa State. A lot more stressful than we thought it would be. I was completely wrong. I thought Iowa State would kill this team. And I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on this, Chris. I've given them on my platforms. But at the end of the day, this is why, top-end programs don't play games like this, because they're just hard. You're not always going to be in a dogfight, but oftentimes you are. Iowa State found itself in one. And I give them credit because I never thought they would lose. I don't know if
I did. I mean, there was a while it was starting to yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't ever after they scored at the end of the first half, that made me feel a lot better. If you're losing at halftime, that's a totally different deal.
Yeah, but Arkansas State scored twice and had it taken off the board because of penalties, and that would have given them the lead, would it not have? Wasn't that in the fourth quarter where they had those touchdowns taken back that they would have taken the lead in that game?
Yeah.
You still didn't think they could lose?
I thought that they could. I didn't think that they would. I thought that Iowa State, they averaged almost 8 yards per play. They just kept doing these dumb penalties, like the roughing the punter, just little things like that. But the greater point is these games are really hard, and this is why other schools don't play them like this.
Well, it's not just this. the game itself. It's where it landed on this particular schedule.
Yes, it was just you're out of gas. You've played 2 rivals in 3 weeks. Ireland.
Arkansas State was pushing around Iowa State when they had the ball offensively in that second half. Late in that game, Iowa State was cooked. Iowa State was done. They needed to make a couple big plays, and thankfully they had Rocco. And the punter was able to scoop up that ball in the back of the end zone.
That would have been
changed everything as well.
Yeah, the special teams conversation is a big one to have after Iowa State had been so good there in its first 3 games, and then we are.
So you were really watching that game like low stress level.
It wasn't. No. You could ask Bloom. Bloom was with me. We watched first game I've watched with Bloom in years. I don't remember the last time I watched a game with him. We avoid each other on game days because the stress level and we're a bad combination. I guess I just had a lot of faith in this particular team that it just didn't feel like the Ohio game to me. I think Iowa State is considerably better than that team. They had a couple of these really dumb penalties. The roughing the punter. There was I want to say a hold on a big play. Just these stupid you missed field goals. You missed a PAT. It didn't feel like this was like a 50-50 bout to me.
No, but those are the kind of things that often happen in games that you lose like this.
The longer it went on, of course, it got more stressful. But I just thought it was so key at the end of that first half for them to go in and punch in the touchdown.
It was, but man, I kind of thought at that moment that Iowa State was going to be okay, but then they just couldn't really catch that quarterback. I mean, they go on that 14-play drive to start the third quarter. They had an 18-play drive to start that fourth quarter. And without those 2 penalties that called those touchdowns back, and I'm not saying they were the wrong calls. One of them was questionable, I think. I don't know that Iowa State wins that game. That was a hornet's nest in that place. That they were rocking. I mean, there were only 22,000 there, but it was loud, and that was much more of an atmosphere than when they saw at Ohio.
These programs don't see Power 4 teams, and they never see ranked ones.
Right. So
when they do, I mean, that was probably one of the biggest home games Arkansas State's ever had in the history of its program. Yeah. I came away in a really weird way, just happy and just kind of proud of them for figuring it out, because they really could not have played worse on special teams. The only thing that could have been worse was what Caleb Johnson did yesterday for the Steelers.
Don't bring that up. My God.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
And what a stupid rule. I mean, come on. Okay, we'll get to that later maybe. But they were moving the ball. They just couldn't finish a drive. And then the defense, everybody wants to kill the defense, but you hold them to 16 points, and their only touchdown comes off of the special teams error. That should have been a punt, right? You should have had them. Yeah. So, I wasn't watching that game going, oh, my God, they're outmatched, nothing like that. It was just God, they just keep – Campbell kind of said so afterwards, too. And Maddie, who do we thank for all this video we have? You made friends with somebody down in Arkansas on the internet?
KAIT News down there.
KAIT News. So, yeah, let's listen to a little bit of what Matt Campbell had to say after the game about this quarterback.
A, you're playing at their place, which is a real challenge. 2, you got an elite quarterback, and I said this on Tuesday, this would be the best quarterback that we've played so far, and it certainly was. I mean, what he's got the ability to do, extend plays with his feet. He almost had 100 yards rushing. Man, he's dangerous, and he's a really talented football player with a really good group of skill players around him. And so, hats off to them. And from our perspective, like I said, I thought, it's not like we played terrible football. It was our detail and precision a couple moments that maybe we had a chance to extend the lead a couple times and we just weren't able to do it. They kind of almost reminded me a little bit of ourselves at times today, bend but don't break, and so, the one thing that they've got is great team speed and really did a great job of that. I thought we for the most part, did a really good job taking care of the football. And, at the end of the day, I thought that group in general, for those guys, I thought they played a good game.
We gave Campbell some shit for what he said leading into the week, that this Rayner was going to be, overall maybe the most difficult quarterback to face. And it was hard to tell if he meant, after the game he said that they faced so far this season, it was hard to tell from the original comment if he meant the entire season. That guy was awesome. Mm-hmm. He is so talented. I mean, they were saying on the broadcast that all the big-time schools wanted him, but they wanted him to play a different position. An absolute athlete with a bunch of experience, and in that spot against an Iowa State defense that was just gassed in the second half from, Arkansas State having the ball so much, and from the schedule leading up to this, he was just pulling them apart. So I'll give Campbell some credit. He was not wrong. I mean, that is the best quarterback they've seen so far this season, given the way Gronowski and Avery Johnson are playing right now.
And then it felt like, too, Iowa State, you kind of have to change your game plan when your kicker is hurt. And
so that's the thing that I'm really worried about.
I am too.
You can say all you want. This was just a bad spot, bad game. They won it. They're 4-0. They're going into the bye week. Don't really take anything you saw in that game and project it to the rest of the year, because that game in itself is kind of an outlier. It's the kicking game that I'm worried about. And it's, I don't know how injured Conradi is, but it's not good news. This is not good, because he missed a PAT, missed the field goal badly, seemed like he was in pain. This was one of the huge check marks Iowa State had throughout this season, is they were going to have a potential All-American kicker who could score from 63 yards in. And now, what do they have? Conradi, if he's hurt, they're already without Jace Gilbert.
This is their second kicker injury in 4 games.
Who's the other kicker? Who's this guy that's been kicking PATs?
He's a walk-on.
And you can't trust him. They might be looking at more 4-down territory moving forward.
Absolutely. I think you have to. I think you absolutely have to. And knowing the offensive coordinator, I think he'll, they're going to be really aggressive with this. But it changes your entire game plan when you don't have. And the other thing is, it's like they're going to be in all these one-score games, right? Like, what's the Campbell stat? They're like, this is what they do. They play.
They've won 9 out of their last 10 one-score games.
They play in one-score games, and that will be the case throughout this year. I know they're 4-0. They are going to be favored in, I think, every game right now, other than the TCU game, according to my power ratings. But that could obviously change. But you're not going to be favored by much. Like, even Arizona, like that looked like a double-digit line at the beginning of the year. It won't be now. Like, that will be 7 to 9 points, somewhere right there. So this is a huge, huge deal. A lot of people are asking me across social media for updates on that. They're not giving us updates, but it doesn't sound great on the Conradi deal. And it's not like he's a kicker. Like, whatever happened was enough to keep him out of that game. And it's like, it doesn't sound great. I'll put it that way. I don't know any more specifics, and I'm not going to try and play doctor here on the show. They're not going to give out any information on that. But I would say our friend Derek Hoodger might be at the intramural soccer fields.
Going to have some tryouts?
2 weeks.
Kicker
Mike
tryouts?
Leach style.
God. Well, and that's one of the reasons, Williams, that I thought that they might actually lose this game, because I knew they weren't going to be able to kick a ball. They were going to have to go for it. They weren't going to have a kicker at the end of that game. But luckily, you had Rocco Becht, and he made 2 incredible throws on the touchdown drive, the deep ball. I mean, it could not have been placed any more perfect than it was to get them down inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line. And then
that's a problem. They're dropping way too many passes.
Yeah.
across
the same
the board.
thing with Iowa too.
I mean, Bramer dropped the one.
Now that was stunning. The Bramer one.
Oh.
That was stunning.
And he's probably the best hands in the entire team. They play without Burkle. That's notable. But
what's going on with him?
I think he'll be back for Arizona, it feels like.
In the pregame, Walters was saying that he got dinged up on like Thursday in practice or something.
Yeah.
And they just didn't feel like it was worth risking putting him out there for this game.
Yeah, that's what I was going off of too. Thank you for that context, Matt. So I'm not overly concerned about that one. The other one would be Jontez Williams, maybe the best cornerback in the Big 12. So he only played 14 snaps on that game. Apparently, he had an ankle that was rolled up on in the first quarter and didn't play after that. So that, again, like it's difficult to know. Did they go into this game assuming they could win this game by resting some guys? I don't know that. Do not don't kill Matt Campbell for that. I don't know, but I'm speculating when I look at the snap counts. Like there were a lot of these guys who normally play 90% of the snaps that played 70% of the snaps. But it was also 115 degrees on the field. So that, right, like that has something to do with it too. I don't know. But when Jontez goes down, now Trey Bell comes in and makes the huge clutch interception in that game. And he's kind of the backup there and the guy they really like in the future. But if you lose your kicker and your number one corner, that's a – what do we say? Just don't get injured and get out of there. And unfortunately, the injuries kind of piled up for Iowa State in this one. So thank God they have a bye week. It's exactly what this team needs. They're still 4-0. They moved up in all the rankings other than mine. I actually moved them down in mine. But we'll do mine. Presented by Big Grove. I vote in this Football Writers Association of America poll. I didn't really move Iowa State down because of their win or how they looked. I just – unlike a lot of pollsters, I like to reward teams that go on the road or do something big and win games. And I moved a lot of teams up, like Texas A&M is ahead of Iowa State. They went on the road and won at Notre Dame. They deserve to be there. I think Oklahoma, I told you last week I had a flaw in my poll, and it was that Oklahoma wasn't in it. I've moved them up to 10. The one thing that is inaccurate about my poll that I would pick apart is Texas Tech being ranked ahead of Iowa State based on who they've beaten. But I still think they're the best team in the Big 12 at this point. And they're going to get tested on the road at Utah coming up.
That's going to be maybe the best game of the weekend coming up.
Yeah, if I was an Iowa State fan or like coach, I would say that's disrespectful to us to have Texas Tech up there, which is fine. I think they're really good. I think Iowa State's really good too, but like Ole Miss – I've been consistent. They've been up there. I moved Vanderbilt into 15th. They were not ranked a week ago. I put them at 15 after going on the road and convincingly winning at South Carolina. But the rest of my poll really hasn't changed that much. What do you got any beefs with it?
So you had Iowa State 12, moved them back to 14. It was the exact opposite in the AP poll. They were 14, moved them up to 12.
But this is what I don't like about the standard polls, though. Is there's just no nuance with them.
For the most part, yeah. I think I would put Vanderbilt ahead of Iowa State.
Probably. They have
because of how impressive they've been.
Iowa State, you have to consider what Kansas State has done and what we think Iowa is.
Right. Kansas State loses again. Kansas State really should be 0-4.
Yes.
They lucked out in that North Dakota game. And we thought maybe that was an anomaly. I guess it's not. They're not good. And what do we know about Iowa? We'll talk about them in a little bit, but I don't think we learned much about them against UMass.
Yeah, I don't know. Iowa's still just weird to me. Like I don't know. We'll find out. We're going to learn a lot more about the Hawks on Friday night. But I think you objectively, if we're doing this we have to look at Iowa State's schedule and give them credit for being 4-0. 2 of those emotional wins, like that's all real. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what Kansas State, right? Like, because if Kansas State wins that game in Ireland, they could easily be 4-0 right now, right? So you give them
maybe
credit.
It goes the other way, and then maybe Iowa State loses the one possession games against Iowa and Arkansas
Absolutely.
State.
That's all real stuff. But the Iowa State's wins are not as good as we thought they would be, and if you're an Iowa State fan, I know it kills you to do this, but you're rooting for Iowa. Like, it's going to help you. It's going to make you look better. Huge. So Clemson dropped out. That's huge for the Big 12. Get them to the 2 losses. Notre Dame having 2 losses. I still think at 10-2 Notre Dame makes the playoff. But if you're looking at a way for the Big 12 to backdoor and get a couple of bids this year, you've had some good things happen.
Before we leave the Iowa State conversation and head to Iowa, we've got to talk about never playing these games again. I mean, we hit on it last week. We've talked about it all off season, what a bad spot this is going to be. And you go down there, you play in Jonesboro, you stay in Memphis, you bus into Jonesboro, which is over an hour away. You've got Bowling Green coming up next. I would not be surprised if Matt Campbell, the first thing he does today is have a conversation with Jamie Pollard, because you have to start including Matt Campbell in these conversations. Matt has the football stadium revenue per game loaded up here if you're watching on YouTube, and it's kind of hard to see everything unless you've got it full screen. But Iowa State makes, according to Sportico, over $3 million in revenue per home game. So that's where I wonder.
Tops in the Big 12.
Jamie said the reason we're doing this is because we're saving $3.5 to $4 million. Well, he's only factoring in how much money you would have to pay Arkansas State to come twice, right? You didn't have to pay him to come last year because you were going to their place. But he's not factoring in, and maybe these numbers are a little off. This is from Sportico. It's just, I don't think they're exact, but Sportico projects that Iowa State makes about $3.2 million in revenue. Now, that's not going to make up the whole difference. You're still saving money. But are they saving $3.5 to $4 million, or are they really only saving a couple million? And is that worth it?
There's also expenses in a road game.
Oh, like yeah.
Travel, like a charter jet, and that type of thing.
Is it worth it? I don't think it is. We know this coaching staff did not want to play this game. We know that they're not going to want to play that Bowling Green game in a couple of years. When I'm sitting there as an Iowa State fan and I'm thinking, okay, we've got Matt Campbell. We cannot lose Matt Campbell. He's shown all of this loyalty to Iowa State so far. You're looking to please him in every way you can because of what he's done. What has he done? The last 2 years, you've started 4-0. You had only done that once in the last almost 50 years. I would be worried that something like this could potentially be the difference in him staying or going. If it continues to happen, if he continues to not get any say in scheduling. Would you be worried? Are you worried, Williams, that this could be a tipping point? Because it's been on his mind for a while.
Give me 1 second. I'm just doing a little bit of research here. This is according to, so this is Cyclones.com. Now, this is when it was reported. This doesn't mean it's when it was actually scheduled, okay? Because a lot of times we'll find out about these games after. But it was October of 2018 when the Bowling Green game was announced by Iowa. So that would have been when Matt Campbell was there. I know at one point, I would love to, these Ohio games, because they were recruiting Ohio so much, like very early on in the Campbell era, I think they may have been on board. So I wonder if the Bowling Green game is a little bit different, but I think your point is correct in the sense of, I think one of the reasons why Matt is still here, there's a lot of reasons why Matt is still here, but I think the fact that he said this publicly, not putting words in his mouth, the fact that he has not autonomy, Jamie Pollard's his boss, but Jamie just kind of lets his coaches do their thing in general. Like, they have the autonomy to, like, run their program. You can't get that at Texas.
But he's not letting them have any input in scheduling.
Apparently not. Now, I think basketball's different. I want to say basketball.
The coaches schedule everything in basketball.
Yeah, basketball's different. I wonder if football, because it's just I'm thinking like Pollard here, if it's just because it's such a big financial piece of the entire puzzle, right? Because your football program's funding your golf and your women's swimming and soccer and all this stuff, if that's why he's taking it. But I know one of the reasons why Matt loves it here is because he's got the autonomy to do all these things. And the football program kind of just does its thing and has done a really good job up until this point during the no denying that. He's the best coach in program history. So, yeah, I think the conversation has to be had. There's no doubt about it. And, if that – I literally threw that into Chat GPT and it pulled up Cyclones.com. So I'm going off of Iowa State's official website. But think about how much has changed in college athletics since 2018. I mean, that's like a generation ago in this. And I just as many home games as you can get is the piece here. And I mean, it's hard to convince me that if Arkansas State plays in Jack Trice Stadium on Saturday, that's not at least a 3-touchdown game. Do you agree?
It'd be totally different.
Yeah.
The whole week would be different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying if I'm Iowa State, I want to do everything in my power, including letting you wear black whenever the hell you want. Everything in my power to keep Matt Campbell as happy as possible. And it's clear from the outset of this season, he was not happy about having to play this game.
Yeah, he said so after the Kansas State game.
Right after the game. One of the first things he said.
I'm good on Iowa State. Are you? You got anything else there?
No, I think we kind of land in the same spot. It's I just chalked that up as it was a horrible spot. The only thing I'm worried about moving forward, not as much the defense stopping a running quarterback. It's the kicking game.
The other
That's
thing
what I'm worried about.
I want to reiterate what I said on Thursday's show. Like, I think it should be a mandate from the Big 12 that these schools can't play these games.
Yeah.
Now, that's a big ask because these schools are all different with their finances, and not everybody's just got money laying around right now with the lawsuits. And I get it. If I'm the CEO and I'm trying to make purely financial decisions, that's a really tough thing to mandate these schools. I'm just saying, you listen to Yormark and you watch him. He's obsessed with the perception of the league. And it doesn't do you much good to have your champion last year, Arizona State, on the road at Texas State on a Friday night on national television. Right? And this Iowa State, your two teams that played in your championship game a year ago both did this in back-to-back years. And again, if I'm Arizona State's president or AD or whatever, they've had a ton of financial stress. All those Pac-12 schools have, for a lot of different reasons. I can save $2 million here. That's a really big deal. But we're talking about perception, not always reality, but perception, because it's such a big deal in this sport. And I think the Big 12, I would have if I'm the ACC commission, I would do the same thing. You can't go and play at a MAC school. I'm sorry. Let's thank our friends at Freedom Tire. We are doing the tire giveaway, of course. You can go to iowaeverywhere.com and go to the contest page, and you can win a new set of tires if you sign up. We've already done this. It's been a very successful campaign with our friends at Freedom Tire. Just a reminder, you don't just buy tires from there. You get your entire oil changed. I got to get my truck serviced coming up. I'll tell you guys all about that when we do it. But then they're going to pay it forward and give it to a charity of your choice, a set of 4, I believe, Goodyears. Let's thank our friends at Iowa Event Center as well. Maddie Van Winks hosts their All Access podcast, which you can watch every week.
Aldine.
That is coming up. That's really soon. That's this Friday, the Jason Aldean show.
This Friday.
This Friday.
Casey Center. First concert at the Casey Center.
Geez, this must be for Iowa State fans only because, we got the Iowa game that night.
That's right. And then, coming up, we got the church concert in a couple weeks. So
a week from Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lineup
coming up. We need that kick time. We're going to get that soon.
Today,
should
right?
Be today. We should have that kick time today.
In fact, a lot of you listening right now probably know the kick time if you're listening late.
That's a whiteout, so you got to think it's going to be a night game, right?
I don't think you know that. Everybody's assuming that.
Yeah, wasn't that just the Cyclone uniform tracker that posted some picture of a white helmet?
It is a whiteout game, yeah, but I have a lot of people who've texted me and be like, oh, it's going to be a night game because it's a whiteout, right? I'm like, no, I don't think. From what I understand of this process, the schools don't really have a say. They can be like, hey, we'd prefer this to not
the schools
be.
Don't have a say.
Yeah, they're just
Last
kind
year-
of told.
Last year, the whiteout was Baylor, and it was a night game. So
The whiteout always looks great at night. It looks better at night than it does during the day. But yeah, you don't have a say. I mean, this is
If I had to
whatever
guess-
Fox wants to pick.
Yeah. If I had to guess, it will be at night because of the Arizona thing. But
agreed,
there's no way to actually know
well,
that.
Utah's playing at 10 a.m. local time this
Right.
weekend, aren't they? So
They are.
Because that's a
Yeah,
big
they're
game,
kinda
so
like-
Big Noon grabbed
And-
it up.
Did I see like Michigan State's playing at USC later is it this week or coming up? And it's like 11 o'clock Eastern time kick.
So 9 a.m. kick there.
No, PM. Like
Oh,
late.
PM.
So
I
feel bad for the fans, but do I really? I don't know.
I was texting with Hassel super late on Saturday night, and it didn't even resonate to me that we were watching. Chris and I were watching Stanford and Boston College, and it did not resonate with me that was a league game.
Yeah, it's an ACC game, brother.
I thought I was watching a non-conference game the whole time. Like, it was crazy.
I missed the
But there-
Pac-10.
There's that travel, though. We saw those teams go out west for those late-night Saturday night games, and the teams that had to travel out there lost. Minnesota lost at Cal.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
And you also, like, there's part of me that thinks that these programs will learn how to do it better, which they will, but you're having just done it with the Ireland thing, like, your body clock isn't something you can just trick.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley talked a lot about that leading up to USC's game at Purdue. He said that because I think they went winless on the road last year, and he said that they changed. He didn't specify exactly what they did, but he said they changed like everything across the board for what they're doing when they travel multiple time zones now in conference play. And they went to Purdue. They didn't cover, but they won the game.
Well, your Hawkeyes, took them 2 plays to score, or 3 plays to score on Saturday night against Marcus Camby's UMass Minutemen. And, I mean, I was doing Cyclone postgame, and I'm getting texts from you, oh, we're going to go live at halftime. I'm like, oh, wow, Iowa's rolling. I don't know. Couldn't ask for much more on Saturday from the Hawkeyes, could you?
Now, I mean, no, I guess not. Maybe the receivers could hang on to a few more balls. It's weird. It's kind of the same.
I don't think your receivers are very good, but that's just me.
Well,
told
I
you
don't
that a week
either,
ago.
so that's, I think, the biggest concern so far. I guess the biggest judgment you could make criticizing this Iowa team on Saturday is the receivers, the pass catchers hanging onto the ball. But I don't necessarily blame them because they haven't seen the ball.
True.
How many times have they actually had a chance in an in-game situation to make some plays, to make some catches? It just hasn't happened. I think they missed a big opportunity to do this against Albany and not have to pull back the reins because Gronowski was playing so bad. You needed to let him and those pass catchers work out these kinks in game 1 as opposed to game 3. I think that set them back, and that hurt them against Iowa State. I don't necessarily blame them that much because they haven't been put in a good situation. I'm not taking much of anything out of this game. Gronowski goes 16 for 24, 179 yards, 2 passing touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown. You got to see Hank Brown a little bit, 5 for 7, 55 yards and a touchdown. He had a couple of good passes. But when your opponent is that bad, you can't take much away from it. And this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought that because of the struggles from Gronowski in the passing game, they knew that this was their last chance. This was their spot. They can open it up. They'll be fine. They're still going to easily win the game. And you can pull the ripcord like you did against Albany if need be and just run it down their throats. I don't know. Going into this Rutgers game, I don't know the last time I've been this unsure of where Iowa lands on in the Big Ten on this spectrum, because they've only played one team, and it was Iowa State, and they were one play away from winning it, but they also looked terrible on offense. So I don't know. I think we'll know a lot more about this team Friday night against a Rutgers team that really is going to be gunning for them.
I'm just taking a look at Rutgers really fast. They are, I feel like Rutgers is kind of in the same boat as Iowa, right?
Yeah, we don't know anything about Rutgers either.
I don't feel like I know they're 3-0. I guess they beat Ohio, which is...
Ohio's not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. But I'm still not convinced that... I have no idea. I'm with you. I feel like you kind of have to be an idiot to bet a lot of money on this game, one way or another, with either team. I feel like Iowa should be better than them, but you're going across the country.
Yep.
Friday night.
But you've had a lot of success against Rutgers of late. Does that matter that much? I don't know.
The spot is a little bit like that Maryland game.
Yeah, they went in there and just absolutely killed them.
Yeah, they going through the air. Remember that kind of changed their mind there for a while. They figured out the passing
game. And that was the last time they really had a game like that. Now, Iowa's the line has moved to 2.5. But if you're into ESPN analytics, which I know everybody loves the ESPN analytics.
Biased.
ESPN analytics giving Rutgers a 57% chance to win the game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but
I do know that
you've got to be able to throw the goddamn ball.
Your quarterback looked a lot more comfortable, though. And is that because of the bad opponent? I don't know. Is that because it's week 3 and his second home game? I don't know. That would be my guess. I feel like I can look at Iowa from a total outside view, unlike a lot of the fans who are. And I think I've been less hard on Gronowski than probably about anyone, because I have. That's how little of respect I have for Iowa's offensive scheme. I watched the Iowa State game 3 times. He kept you in the game, his legs moving around. He had that moxie. He kept Iowa in that game. And it was a really good move by Lester. Changed their running scheme. They made some good adjustments. But Gronowski he looked scared to death in the Albany game, and he didn't in this one. So that's big.
That is another step forward.
That is big, though. You can't have your team leader and arguably your best player on offense that's not a lineman, being afraid of the situation. And he didn't have that in game 2 at Kinnick.
Because I don't think the coaches put that fear into him. I'm positive that a lot of this stuff is the position that they put him in.
I think if they played Albany again at home, they would
It'd be
kill
different.
them.
You're right. It would be different, but we're also 3 games in.
Correct. All this stuff can be
The training wheels are off now. The training wheels are off. You've got to let this guy be the quarterback that he was at FCS when he was the best player in that whole division. He won the Heisman Trophy for FCS, the Walter Payton Award. He won a championship. Let him get into a rhythm with these wide receivers, damn it. That's what you got to do that. He wasn't able to do that in camp, apparently. He was late getting there because of the shoulder surgery. You've got to get into some kind of a groove. Hopefully this was a tiny baby step to getting there. But I'm not taking much from it. UMass is bad. And Iowa coaches know that, so Iowa coaches kind of took the reins off a little bit.
At least they did that.
Well, yeah, at least they should have done it against Albany.
I know, but
I don't care how bad he was.
I've seen Iowa coaches be like, we're just going to run it and run the clock out. We've all seen that. At least they went downfield in the first possession and got the place going a little bit, got some good mojo going. And you put it on tape, too. I mean, that's the biggest thing for Rutgers. It's like Greg Schiano actually has to scout a downfield pass. Like, honestly.
This is all...
it all seems so basic, but it's real. This is, again, the amount of disrespect I have for Iowa's offense cannot be calculated by words in 1 hour, okay? Like, it's really bad, but by doing that, Rutgers can't just – they have to study it now, and there's only so much time in a week.
Now,
up until now, they hadn't had to.
The only thing worse than UMass's talent was the decision by the coaches to continuously kick the ball to Caden Weegan. What the hell are they thinking? Are you kidding me? They just kept kicking it to him. And he just kept burning them.
That kid needed that after the Iowa State game.
Oh, God, yes.
Good for him.
That had to feel good.
Yeah, he needed that. He needed that moment. He deserved that.
He had 182 punt return yards.
That's really hard to beat.
They kicked it to him 4 times. 4 times. They just well, he only went 47 on us last time. Let's try it again. Oh, well, last time he only went 60, so let's try it again. Well, he just went 95. What the hell are you doing?
Well, I have another take on the Iowa game. Well, I want to do our triple B and lead us into this. Kelderman Manufacturing, bigger, better, bolder.
Bigger, better, bolder. Built by Kelderman Manufacturing.
So Kirk Ferentz becomes the winningest head coach in the history of the Big Ten, 206 wins, passing Woody Hayes from Ohio State. And we haven't even mentioned it. We're 41 minutes into the show. I was thinking about this last night, Chris. I don't think this record may never be broken. We just watched coaches at at UCLA and Virginia Tech get fired over the weekend. We're now in a place where coaches are getting fired. I saw a stat. I think it was The Athletic. 40 coaches have been fired in 2 years or less in the last it was 10 years or something like that. So I guess my point is this is a two-way street. One, the longevity of a guy like Kirk Ferentz being there for 26 years is that's going to be so hard for anyone to do in this day and age of college football for a lot of reasons, because of the fans, because of the pressure. And number two, I don't know how many of these coaches are going to want to coach for that long in this day and age. So I think that, and he's going to keep winning some games, right? Like he's not like
I think this is going to. He
I don't
might
know
stack another 20 wins.
I don't know if this record will ever be broken.
We talked about this on Instant Iowa quite a bit, and I said the same thing. And I think Downs echoed my sentiments that this may never be broken. And I had some comments that Ryan Day is going to blow right on by that. Well,
no.
Ryan Day is not even halfway there yet. He's at 73 wins as the Ohio State head coach, as a Big Ten head coach. Okay, Ryan Day was almost fired last year. Had they not made that playoff run, he might have been.
Yeah.
He won a national championship, but I'm telling you, that guy loses to Michigan again, and he's right back on the hot seat. He's always going to be on the hot seat if he can't beat Michigan. He might have a stretch where he beats him 4 straight years, but then he loses back-to-back times, and you don't win the national championship, and he's gone. He's going to have to last at least another 10 years to approach that.
No way. Doesn't happen. Not at a program like that.
And at a high-stress job he's already getting fed up. He's already getting testy. I mean, calling out Lou Holtz all the time. He's got those bags under his eye. Is he really going to make it another 10, 12 years at Ohio State?
Well, and then, there's just so many job hoppers, too. And I just think the wear and tear on a coach now, I don't know. I talked to a D1 basketball coach last week who told me the schedule's better than he's ever had it. because of it's just like you used to have to just be out recruiting these high schools and nonstop, and now it's just so much. So maybe these younger coaches are going to enjoy coaching, like a Dan Lanning or something. But again, they move around so much. That's a guy I would zero in on potentially. But again, he's rumored with every SEC job whenever it comes up.
Who are you talking about? Dan Lanning?
Yeah, he's a Big Ten.
Well, yeah,
coach.
but he only has 15 Big Ten coaching.
I'm saying it would have to be a guy like that age at a place to get going to even approach what Ferentz has put together over the last 26 years. It's interesting. I think it's just a bigger conversation about our sport in general.
Van Wolk points out that
Kirk Ferentz is bigger, better.
James Franklin is at 104.
Yep.
Now he's in his 12th season at Penn State, something like that.
But that's again
that's
another
a guy too. Every year it's like, well, but he hasn't won the big game.
If he doesn't win the Natty this year, like what does he have to do to appease that fan base this year?
Win the national championship.
Yeah, like people are nuts now, man. Like you don't have the. You guys would have forced Hayden Fry out earlier if it was the year 2020, because they were like 6-5. The Tim Dwight, like they could just never get over that hump, and I'm sure people were like complaining on Sound Off to Jim Zabel back then, but it wasn't plastered all over the internet for Tavian Banks to read on his Twitter feed, right? Like it's just a different world, is my point. Completely. It's really hard to be at a place for 26 years.
And what's it going to look like 5-10 years from now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, does the Big Ten even exist? Like, or are we in a super league? I don't know.
Beans in the Strainer says he thinks Matt Rule can do it at Nebraska. I don't know if he's kidding or not. You clearly thought it was a joke.
Who do you got for your bigger, better, bolder?
It's not who, it's what.
Excuse me?
It's my no soliciting sign. It has been
your house?
It's been such a quiet week at the door since I put up our brand new no soliciting sign. The doorbell has not been touched. The Ring camera isn't going off. I'm not out there talking to some guy for 15 minutes trying to explain why I don't want to pay him $300 to trim some of my branches on the live oak. And it kind of goes hand in hand, since this is Triple B from Kelderman. He gave me a couple signs, right? He made a couple of signs for me. The Cooter Ray sign, Cooter Ray, Dr. Oz 2024. But this sign, much smaller, has had a far greater impact on my life than any sign that Kelderman made for me.
So you had a big soliciting problem going on down there in Delray?
Big, I don't know, but I swear every weekend you'd get a couple different people coming to the door, and I don't know what. Most of the time, we're able to just we see it and we don't go to the door. But every now and then you get trapped. I was up on my ladder once looking for iguanas in the gutter, and this guy just ambushed me. I was right by the front door, ambushed me, came up, hey partner. Hey, I see you got that live oak over there with those branches. That's gonna be tough come hurricane season. How about I trim those for you?
So the ones I hate are the pest control people. They're like from Utah, and it's always like a college kid on a scooter. Yeah, your neighbor Jim over there, he signed up with me. He's been real happy with the results.
So our thing is solar panel people, and they are younger. I would say 25-year-old guys, and they walk the neighborhood. And sometimes they're on scooters. And they will come like once a week. And you understand that you don't have to pay anything. We'll just put them up there.
What do you have against solar?
Get that shit off my house. It looks terrible. And everybody that has it looks horrible.
Time, Van Winks.
And the bigger problem is, and thankfully my wife knows this because she's in the insurance industry at Travelers, is it's a major liability. You put those solar panels on your roof and you get like a hailstorm or a hurricane or something and they get damaged, that's on you. That's on you. So it can end up being a horrible investment.
UMASS Solar.
Of course he would.
The other one that
He's
drives
got a
me
solar
nuts-
panel on that Amish bench.
Happy birthday to Bloom, by the way. 41 yesterday. And
Wow,
Aiden Wyatt.
He's
turned,
older than us, huh?
Aiden turned 19 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
The other ones that we get around here a lot, because there's so many young kids in our community. Maddie, tell me if you've been in on this. They I swear to God, you won't believe it. It's true. They sell textbooks to kids. They'll come up and be like, yeah, we got an epidemic here. It's these kids are all stupid because of their screens, and they like try and suck you into. And they're like, oh yeah, Jim from down the road, he's an educator here in town, and he bought these for his kids, because they always try and like convince. And then you're like, oh, if my neighbor did it, and these sons of bitches will not leave. One kid asked me for a glass of water one time. It was like 100 degrees.
They want to come in your house.
What?
And talk to you. Yeah.
Yes.
Our neighbor told me about this. Yeah.
Oh my God! And you have to just be a dick to them. Like that's the
You have
only
to.
way. That's the only. They're like cats. They're like stray cats. If you feed them like anything, they'll stick around and they just want to be a part. Like, and they are trained. They're like these scam artists from crypto that Kenzo was talking about on Overthink. They know exactly what they're doing. They are trained to rip you off.
So yeah, you know what? Just take the plunge. Get a no soliciting sign and thank me later.
Maddie Van Winkle, Triple B.
Return of the Mac.
Oh God.
Return of the Mac. Mac
out of your
Jones.
Mac Jones. You know what this does? This proves that Brock Purdy is a system quarterback.
False.
It's exactly what this proves.
All he needed to do to have a successful career is to be around Brock.
No.
Sam Darnold did that.
Thank you. What did Sam Darnold do? Come and be a backup for Brock, get a huge contract.
Sign
with
me up
Seattle.
for Sam Darnold wearing purple right about now.
Yeah, jeez.
Cheesehead predicted this, by the way. Earlier in the show, he said, well, I bet Van Wink's Triple B is going to be Mac Jones.
Hey, good win. Going on the road with your back. You got a lot of injuries. Good win for you, Matty.
Took down Spencer Rattler and those.
The worst team in the league,
Who dat?
the Saints.
Yep. 2-0. Feels good.
Purdy's he's lucky he got that contract when he did.
Well, you see the news about Burrow today. He and
Yeah.
Purdy have a similar injury, but Purdy's going to be coming back in a week or two maybe, and Burrow's out for 3 months.
Well, that's
so.
because Purdy wears those Ariats. They
True.
protect his toe.
You seen those commercials?
Yeah, day-to-day basis. All right,
Williams-
Elderman.
Can't let you out of here without.
Well, I got to go long still.
Well, is it on the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh no, God.
You're gonna have to answer for yourself. J.J. McCarthy anointed this king, this savior, because of his fourth quarter performance against the Bears, and then that last night. Oh my God!
That was one of the most painful Vikings games I've ever watched.
Oof.
You know why I liked him though? It was less about McCarthy, and I thought their defense would like roll at home, and they were really good. They held him to field goals like the whole game after the offense kept putting them in one shitty situation after another. McCarthy is completely inept right now. You can't like judge him on 2 games of his career, but it's just like it is painful, especially when you're used to those O'Connell offenses. Just their offensive line is. Oh my God! It's hard to tell. Maybe McCarthy too, right? Holding onto the ball too long, making bad decisions. Just terrible. That was one of the worst Sunday night football games you will ever get.
I had a bad weekend too.
Ugh.
And Beans in the Strainer points it out. I had the worst lock play of all time.
Yeah, the Washington State play.
Oh my God!
Them boys in Denton, Texas.
In my defense, I did say fade me because I'm off to a bad start. Let's keep it rolling. Just keep fading me. And if you did, you would have taken North Texas minus the 6.5 because they won 59-10. Washington State had 5 turnovers in the first half. 59-10 North Texas over Washington State. Oh, my God.
And that was all because of that drunken night with Coop live betting the Washington State game.
We felt like we owed it to Washington State, or I did, to ride them again.
That was what I did with South Florida, and I was dead wrong. You called that one. Good job.
Yeah, I was. I at least got that one right. I didn't put it on my locks, but I was pretty confident Miami was going to roll South Florida in that spot.
Yep. And you were right. But that was how exact same scenario, because I have been riding South Florida, and they just ran out of. Miami's really good too. Let's give them some credit.
They are.
Looks like Cristobal's got a team over there.
How about this? Scott Docterman said on one of our shows, RBTV Week, that, and I think he's reported this, that Gronowski was offered $3 million to go to Miami.
Yeah, he told us that at Big Grove that day.
Yes. So can you imagine if Miami had Mark Gronowski right now, and I don't know where that would put Carson Beck.
Maybe in Iowa.
I don't think he'd be coming to Iowa. But that's...
if with Iowa's offense, I'd rather have Gronowski than Beck.
Yes, I agree, 100%. Yes.
Beck needs like open receivers and
he needs like a regular good offense.
You're not going to get. You need a guy who can move around.
Need a guy that can move around, that can pick up a tough couple of yards, and Gronowski's that guy.
All right, let's go long on Brian Kelly.
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
I just got a text from Tim Hawkins this morning from Wealth Charter, noting that the Feds are going to be dropping interest rates this week, likely going to be.
Dropping interest rates all over your face.
So you need to consider that with your 401k and your investment portfolios. They can help you at Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. Want to play this, and I am in full disclosure, I'm going to talk about this in depth and even longer on the CW pod this week. But Brian Kelly goes off on a reporter after the game. Let's listen to the confrontation.
I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the game to win the game.
All right. How about third down then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
Again, I'm going to talk about this a lot. I'm doing the CW pod today. But I had to go along on this because this is one of those – I refuse to just be the media honk that will just defend every reporter. Like, I see both sides here.
Like, I kind of do too. Like, to have that be the first question out of the gate after you beat Florida.
Yeah.
And covered, by the way. They were 6-7-point favorites. They won by 10.
The problem was that Kelly just kept getting like more and more pissed.
We're 17-1 at night. Like, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
Well, and then that reporter, to his credit, like, I'll give him some, like, he didn't back down. He didn't cower down to the big bad football coach. Well, what about third down? Why can't you run the ball? We can run the ball. That is like if I taught a sports media class, I would love to go through that and dissect it with the students because, and it's also a great Keith Murphy coaching tree Like, shorten your questions, man. Like, all right, coach, well, I know you hate doing this, but the timing of that couldn't have been worse. Like, that was the thing. Both of these guys, I think, have a point. I actually kind of lean Kelly in a weird way, but the problem is he's such a dislikable human. Like, he has all this – he's like 20
and we
years
don't know the history either.
It feels like Kelly doesn't like that guy. Like, that guy's done something to piss Kelly off at some point, but maybe not. He just – did you watch the thing on Netflix? He's kind of just this mean old man at this point.
It's hard to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Fascinating. I wouldn't want that to be the first question after you just beat Florida by 10.
I think that is a fair gripe. And if that member of the media was smart, you don't like he's fishing for something. You're going to get a better answer if you do it, like if you don't lead off with it. Unless that guy has a vendetta against Kelly and is just trying to prod at him, which it didn't feel like there was that sort of a tone. But then when Kelly, you're spoiled.
Yeah, what is that? Like, he thinks that's what I can't stand.
He's
about
projecting
coaches.
that onto the fans. He's projecting that to the fans because he's saying the fans are spoiled.
The reporters aren't fans.
Correct.
Like, I'm sure some of the reporters covering the team are. But like, you're spoiled. Like a reporter can get spoiled by how good a team is that he's covering. Like, what that doesn't have anything to do with anything. And they're not spoiled. LSU has not lived up to expectations with Brian Kelly in the first few years that he's been there.
But none of these coaches ever think that they are wrong about anything. Like Kelly, I'm guessing like any shortcomings they've had in his tenure, he's in his mind thinks that he is being wronged.
Right. Well, look at Deion Sanders last year. Is he allowing Sean Keeler to ask any questions yet? I don't think he is.
I forgot about that.
I've asked some stupid questions too. I've asked some really bad questions.
We all have.
Man, I remember 2008. I asked a question that I've asked it many times, and usually you get a decent answer, but I can see why Ricky Stanzi answered it in the way that he did. They were at Illinois. They lost on a field goal at the end of the game, and it was like their third or fourth just heartbreaking loss in 2008. And we're interviewing him on the field after the game, and I asked something like, how gut-wrenching is it to lose like this again? And he looked at me and he's like, what do you think? It sucks. It's horrible. And that was it. Like, he was pissed at the question. And I get it. Like, what do you say to that?
Well, and then sometimes, though, like, and you have to teach young media personalities and journalists this, too. Like, you are going to make them mad if you're doing your job. Like,
true.
It's not, that's part of the job. So, but you got a great cut, though. I mean, isn't that what the fans wanted to see from the quarterback at that time?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
That was probably the best thing that Ricky Stanzi could have done. It's just be real.
Yeah.
The problem
be real,
is,
yeah.
I just felt like I think Kelly had the right to be mad, but then he got so agitated, and he has no goodwill built up at all. That then all of a sudden you have this great win that they really had to fight for. And Florida, I think, is probably better than what most national people think, despite losing to South Florida, whatever. And it's still an SEC game. Like, that's a tough win for them. And now all the headlines, all anybody's talking about is unhinged Brian Kelly losing his mind at a reporter. Right or wrong, that's what has come out of that game.
Yeah.
So you just have to be smarter than that. But I don't know. Maybe Kelly was doing it to, like, fire up his team. I got your back. That could be the case, too.
It's possible. But again, no benefit of the doubt, really, to Brian Kelly because of the kind of guy he seems to be in those
Good
situations.
point here. Chris says on YouTube, he went from a genuine reaction to performative.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good way to put it.
We are 17-1 at night.
Like, last I checked, this team's only played like 3 games, Coach. There's only 20 guys on this roster who were here last year. That's hyperbolic, by the way. It's not.
We've won 8 straight in the Central Time Zone.
You sound like Ryan Day responding to Lou Holtz. You know, if we did a spoof of Brian Kelly and the Reporter, I bet we could get Brian Kelly to react. I bet we could get some free pub here for Iowa Everywhere.
And have the reporter ask a follow-up, hey, what happened to your Southern accent, Coach?
I loved the reporter, though. Well, why can't you run the ball? We can run the ball.
We did it on that last play. Didn't you see it? We
Well,
only
what
need
happened?
one.
Yeah, well, what happened on that third down? Oh, it was great. So great. But again, like I give the reporter was, I think, in the wrong at the beginning, but if that guy's going to be an asshole to you, you may as well puff your chest and stand up to him.
Yeah.
The worst thing you could do is cower down to him.
And that happens a lot. Is
Yes.
a coach will bully a reporter, and then that reporter, because a lot of these reporters are young, you know.
Yeah.
You get bullied, you back down, you cower, and then the coach feels like, yeah, I can do that every time.
What did you say, Maddie? You have a point to make?
I was just going to say, Saban once called the media rat poison. So
Oh, yeah, that's
you
a
know,
classic Saban, yeah.
These SEC coaches in the media have never really
Well,
got
again,
along.
and I also think, too, for the perspective of our audience, it's very different down there than what you guys experience here. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's a totally different world.
yeah.
Like, me as a South Carolina fan, like, I've been reading a bunch of their stuff after they lost to Vanderbilt this weekend. Oh, my God. Like, Shane Beamer went from being, like, the second coming of Christ to is a total fraud, run him out of town. Like, it's crazy how quickly that can switch down there. Well, hell, I mean, remember, not that far off where people were talking about Matt Campbell being on the hot seat. Remember that? Like, that's not that long ago.
Well, it was the last time that they played at a Group of Five school at Ohio.
I wish Matt just would have jacked that guy in the face.
Did you
just
guys see
absolutely knocked him out. I'm not a proponent of physical violence unless you do crap like that.
Hot seat guy was stirring it up with Iowa fans the other day at the Cyhawk game.
What?
The hot seat guy was?
Mm-hmm.
What
It's
do you
all
mean?
over YouTube.
What do you mean stirring it up?
He was in
That
a video
same
with
guy?
some Iowa fan, or I don't even know if he was a real Iowa fan. He was pretending to be an Iowa fan, was just like making fun of Iowa State fans in the tailgate lots. And yeah, hot seat guy made an appearance. So he's still there, still wearing the same getup.
And we're positive it's the same guy?
I'll pull a screenshot and I'll see if you can.
Is he wearing this? Is he like a local celebrity
It's
now?
the same
or-
jersey and hat.
Didn't Heaven's Hawkeye, didn't he have Matt Campbell like stuffing him into a can of beans
yeah.
or something?
That was a great AI.
You don't talk to the Fiesta Bowl champion like that.
Coffee can.
Coffee can. Stuff your ass in a coffee can. Send you back to Sandusky.
What a great life, or what a great memory that whole thing was. The AI thing. Oh God, it was fun. All right, good show.
Let's go.
Glad we could.
What are you doing here?
Never seen a winning team?
Get down. This is our house, buddy.
Your house?
Our house, our tailgate. Get out of here, bud.
This is our toilet.
This is our house, buddy.
This is where we shit.
Damn Iowa fans.
I don't think he was a real Iowa fan though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you mean he's not a real Iowa
I think he was
fan?
just like going around the lots, just pretending to stir the pot.
So he was an Iowa State fan dressed as an Iowa
No,
fan?
I think he was just a college football fan. He's trying to go viral, all right?
Who? The coffee can kid?
No, the guy that
Smile.
Let's go.
Oh, I thought you meant
What are
that
you doing here?
Never
the
seen a
hot
winning
seat
team?
guy.
Get down. This is our house.
So this isn't the hot seat guy's
Or
video.
is it somebody
it's this
just-
no,
other
it's
guy's
not
video.
his video.
Are you sure it's the hot seat guy, or is it
It's
a guy
the same
dressed
jersey
like?
and hat.
Well, I mean, come on. There's hundreds of those just
It's
floating
the
around.
same guy. Come on, comments, back me up.
I don't
here.
claim the hot seat guy. That's not a true Iowa State fan.
No.
No, you don't do that to our coach. All right, fun show. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Fairway
The
meet
Fiesta
Grocery.
Bowl champ does what the fuck he wants.
We are presented by Fairway Meat and Grocery in the Channel Seed Studios. We'll be back on Thursday morning. Normal Thursday show this week.
Is it
Iowa
really?
plays-
We're doing a normal show? We haven't done a
Yes.
normal show on Thursday in a while.
No, it's been a while. Then Iowa plays on Friday. So, of course, we have Murph and Andy coming up today at 1. Check it all out. Subscribe to our YouTube page if you haven't already. Have a great work week, everybody.